Introduction. The Cuban Revolution stands as one of the most influential and enduring political upheavals in Latin American history. Spanning from 1953 to 1959, this transformative movement, led by Fidel Castro, toppled the dictatorial regime of Fulgencio Batista and redefined the course of Cuba's future. The revolution left an indelible mark on the island nation, encompassing social, economic, and political transformations that continue to shape its trajectory even today. Causes and background. The roots of the Cuban Revolution can be traced back to decades of political corruption, economic inequality, and social unrest under the Batista regime. Batista's authoritarian rule served the interests of a privileged few, while the majority of Cubans languished in poverty. This stark inequality, coupled with the influence of the United States in supporting Batista, fueled widespread discontent and a longing for change among the Cuban populace. Key events and leaders. The revolution gained momentum with the failed attack on the Moncada barracks in 1953 led by Fidel Castro and his comrades. Although unsuccessful, this event signaled the emergence of a determined and resolute opposition to Batista's regime. Subsequently, Castro and his followers were imprisoned but later released, leading to their exile in Mexico. In Mexico, Castro met Argentine revolutionary Ernesto Che Guevara, and together they organized the 26th of July movement. This movement aimed to overthrow Batista's government and establish a more egalitarian society. On December 2, 1956, Castro and his comrades sailed back to Cuba aboard the yacht Granma, marking the beginning of the guerrilla warfare phase of the revolution. The revolution gained significant support from rural peasants and the urban working class, who were attracted to Castro's vision of social justice, land redistribution, and independence from foreign dominance. As the guerrilla warfare intensified, the revolutionaries achieved several victories, gradually gaining popular support across the country. The turning point came on January 1, 1959, when Batista fled the country, and Castro's forces seized power. Castro assumed leadership and embarked on a series of reforms aimed at dismantling the remnants of the old regime, nationalizing industries, and implementing agrarian reforms. The revolution also witnessed the emergence of Cuba as a socialist state and the establishment of close ties with the Soviet Union, further shaping its trajectory. Legacy and impact. The Cuban Revolution's legacy extends far beyond its immediate aftermath. It served as a symbol of resistance and hope for oppressed peoples around the world, inspiring numerous revolutionary movements across Latin America and beyond. The revolution's emphasis on education, healthcare, and social equality led to significant improvements in literacy rates, healthcare outcomes, and overall human development indicators in Cuba. However, the revolution also faced challenges and criticism. The United States imposed economic sanctions on Cuba, creating a strained relationship that persists to this day. Additionally, political repression and limitations on civil liberties were observed, prompting concerns about human rights violations. Conclusion. The Cuban Revolution remains a complex and multifaceted event that continues to be analyzed and debated. It represented a struggle against oppression and a quest for social justice, resonating with people globally. While its legacy is characterized by achievements in areas such as education and healthcare, it also raises questions about the balance between political ideology and individual liberties. Ultimately, the Cuban Revolution stands as a testament to the enduring power of revolutionary ideals and their profound impact on the course of history. Now, here are some fun facts on Cuba. Fidel Castro, along with his brother Raúl Castro and Che Guevara, played key roles in the Cuban Revolution. They formed the 26th of July movement, named after the failed attack on the Moncada barracks in 1953. Following the success of the revolution, Fidel Castro became the Prime Minister of Cuba in 1959 and later assumed the role of president, maintaining a socialist government for nearly 5 decades. 9. The Cuban Revolution had a profound impact on international relations, leading to tensions between Cuba and the United States during the Cold War era. The failed Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961 and the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 were significant events in this context. Despite facing economic challenges and political controversies over the years, the Cuban Revolution has left a lasting legacy, shaping Cuba's socio-political landscape and inspiring revolutionary movements in other parts of the world. The end. Or is it? I know my topic was on the Cuban Revolution, but what about Cuba today? I did some research and watched a couple of videos on the internet and found out that Cuba is still in terrible conditions. Now yes, Cuba is better than it was back then, but I found out during my extensive research that Cuba is so poor that you can't find water in Cuba. There is literally more alcohol in Cuba than water. People literally can't afford to get any because of the massive amounts of poverty in Cuba. And if you thought, oh, they should just get a job online working for someone, they can't have internet access for $1. Not to mention how most can't even afford that much, considering their socialist-type governmenting ways. Almost everywhere in Cuba is in poverty still to this day, even though they fought a revolution to end it. So anyways, see you next time.